kick it, Jackie Chan.
Oh, Jamar Chase with the dive. Because Garrett Wilson's wide open. Garrett Wilson, touchdown Barons.
The youngest wanna kick it, Jackie Chan.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the video here on the What a Juice channel, and welcome back to another episode of the Brooklyn Barons rebuild here on Madden 23. That is right. Now, in the last episode, you all know the tragic fate that we suffered at the hands of the Kansas City Chiefs in the AFC Championship game. It was a brutal, tough way to lose, but hey, we were just happy to be there. At this point in the rebuild, we shouldn't even have been in the playoffs, but our defense was playing way above we should have been playing, and our offense was playing a lot better at the end of the season than they were at the beginning of the season. You guys know the struggles I had with the offense at the beginning of the season, but at the end of the season, when we made the switch to Malik Willis and the running game was actually starting to become useful and actually productive, then the offense started to try to keep up with what the defense was doing. The defense was causing turnovers almost every single game. It was crazy. We were actually like stringing together win after win after win, and we felt like we could make some noise in the playoffs, and we did. We upset the #1 team, not only in the AFC, but in the entire NFL, the 16-1 Buffalo Bills. We went to Buffalo and beat them in the divisional round. That was the greatest win in Barons history. But our reward for doing that was going to Kansas City to play the Chiefs at Arrowhead in the AFC title game. And we put up a very, very good fight. We arguably should have won that game. But in the end, the Chiefs kicked a field goal to send them to the Super Bowl, which they ended up beating the Giants in. And I don't know if we blame Malik Willis for that loss. I don't know if we blame Saquon Barkley for that loss because he fumbled at the 2-yard line or at the 1-yard line. Malik was kind of hit or miss in the AFC title game. He was hit or miss a lot of the season, but towards the end, he was getting a little bit more consistent. He was starting to string together a lot of consistent throws and a lot of consistent games where he wasn't really making a lot of horrible passes. There was really bad passes every once in a while, but for the most part, he was putting together some good, consistent throwing games. But in the playoffs, he was starting to hit different. Like, he was playing really, really solid. He was playing the best football he's probably ever played until we got to the AFC title game where he was just missing passes. He was throwing interceptions, and he wasn't looking as consistent as I would like, which leads me to believe that he is not going to be the guy to get us over the hump. And that's where the offseason comes into play. This offseason is going to be a major one. Last offseason was huge because we signed Justin Jefferson, and that was a major, major W. But this offseason, we're not only going to see what's in free agency, but we are going to be making some trades that might end up sending us to becoming a dynasty. These are the trades that we look back on 10 years from now, and we say, yeah, those are the trades that won the Barons the Super Bowl. Those are the trades that made the Barons contenders. Those are the trades that made the Barons a dynasty. So that I know I'm building these trades up, but I really do think that these are going to be absolutely insane, massive trades in the long run. So without further ado, without me building it up anymore, we've got the third installment of the Brooklyn Barons offseason ready to go. Let's get right into it because I cannot wait any longer. So here we are. It is the 2024 offseason. As I mentioned, the Chiefs went on to Super Bowl 59 to beat the New York Giants, and they did it 28-20. Mahomes is the Super Bowl champion, or Super Bowl MVP. Lamar wins the regular season MVP. Texans head coach Bill Duncan is the coach of the year. Cooper Kupp and Aaron Donald, both on the Rams still, are the offense defense player of the years, and Richard Painter of the Eagles is the rookie of the year for the offense, and David Hoskins for the Saints is the defensive rookie of the year. So that's your season recap. Unfortunately, it didn't involve us. Now, there's one thing I'm curious about. I don't know if our offense and defensive coordinators are going to get new jobs. I don't think they will. It doesn't look like Nick Sirianni's gotten a new job yet. He got fired from being the Eagles head coach. But let's take a look, because our staff, we have 2 head coaches on our staff as coordinators. We've got Doug Peterson and Lovie Smith. So I'm very curious to see if those guys accept new jobs. I guess we'll find out when we simulate to the next week. We are ready to advance. We've got to re-sign players. Well, not re-sign players. We've got to trade the guys that we aren't going to be able to afford. It's going to be big. We've got mock draft number 3. Remember, we have the #1 overall pick. So we don't want to forget that. Let's take a look at the staff. We still have Doug. We still have Lovey. Okay, so I wasn't sure, since we have head coaches as offense coordinators, I wasn't sure if they could sign other jobs or take other jobs as head coaches. All right, we've got retirements for 2024. J.J. Watt calls it a career. Anybody else of note? Thomas Morstead for the Cougars calls a career. Gabe Jackson, Melvin Ingram, former Patriot, Stephon Gilmore, Travis Kelce. That's a massive one. Wow, after 12 years, the Chiefs lose Travis Kelce. He rides off into the sunset. Corey Linsley, Taylor Lewan, Von Miller. Okay. Kyle Van Noy, former Patriot. Taylor Heineke. Lawrence Guy, former Patriot. There's a lot of former Patriots on here. I'm not going to name them all. There goes my favorite quarterback, Nick Foles. Anybody else of note? No, it's not that great of a retirement class. There's some Hall of Famers in here, obviously. You got J.J. Watt retiring. Von Miller's a Hall of Famer. Travis Kelce's a Hall of Famer. Gilmore might be. That's probably on the teetering. I don't know if he's a Hall of Famer or not. But certainly J.J. Watt, Von Miller are Hall of Famers. And Travis Kelce's a Hall of Famer too. So certainly those 3 are guaranteed. Mock draft number 3. They've got us taking Cliff Jones, and I don't know if I can argue with them. Our next pick is... Don't we have 2 picks? 2 picks? Let me check... Let me check the trade thing. They've got us taking Cliff Jones, and I don't know if I can argue with that. I don't know if I can argue with taking Cliff Jones. I think he might be the guy, even though we might trade for a quarterback in this one. So we have pick 1 and pick 15. So whoever the other pick we had was... I don't think that's our pick. I guess I could check it in the roster screen. Whoever pick 15 is, they must have done really well, because early in the season it was like pick 1 and pick 3. So if we go to the NFL rosters and we go to draft picks, it is Cincinnati's pick. So we traded for Cincinnati's pick last season, and they got us pick 15. So that's all right. We have a pick. We have the first overall pick, and then we have some picks a little bit later. So we've got a lot of room to move around. We've checked the retirements. Negotiations, we are probably going to trade Elijah Moore. We're probably going to trade Quinn Miners. I want to bring back Daryl Holcomb, but I don't want to waste my franchise tag on him. We're probably going to trade Justin Fields. You know what? Let's do that right now. Let's start trading the guys that we know we're going to trade. It hurts me to do it, but I think we're going to trade Elijah Moore. And I have a guy in mind that I think we can get. So if we go to wide receivers, we pick Elijah Moore. We go to the Eagles, because he should still be a Philadelphia Eagle. And we go, and there he is, A.J. Brown. So they're both 90 overall. A.J. is a little... Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. A.J. Brown is a little bit older. I think he's 2 years older. But he is under contract for how much longer? He should be under contract for a little bit longer. So he's got another year after this one. So what if I do this straight up? That gets... Oh. So a straight up swap. Elijah Moore for A.J. Brown. I probably should have got a little bit more for that. I didn't realize that was going to go through. Last time I checked, it didn't go through straight up. So that kind of threw me for a loop there. But now we have Justin Jefferson and A.J. Brown as our 2 wide receivers, along with Garrett Wilson, who's a stud. Donnell Mooney is another guy who I don't think really gets valued that much on my team. So I kind of want to move him to a team where he's valued a little bit more. And I don't really know what team that is. I was thinking maybe the Saints, because I could get Chris Olave back. And I do like Chris Olave. They're the same overall. I really do like Chris Olave. I don't really know if is that the best option for us to move Mooney for Olave. It could be a really good option. I could try and get Rondale Moore. I don't know if that's a better option. Michael Pittman would be too expensive. It'd be a waste. I could try and get Amon-Ra, I guess. Jalen Waddle. Is Jalen Waddle a free agent this year? Or did he get re-signed? Jalen Waddle re-signed. Okay. I don't think I'd be able to get him anyway. Let's go back to the Saints. Chris Olave is the same overall as Darnell Mooney. Would this go through, or can I get a pick with it? Can I get a 3rd round pick alongside Olave? What about a 4th round pick? I want to be able to get something else. Oh, there we go. So Darnell Mooney for Olave and a 4th this year. So that gives us some pretty cool stuff. So now our receiving core looks like Justin Jefferson, A.J. Brown, Garrett Wilson, and Chris Olave. So 2 Buckeyes, and then LSU and Ole Miss. Plus we have Denzel Mims, who I think is also a free agent. So we might as well move on from him. And I don't know what we could get back for him. Maybe this guy, Clarence Meadows, is he good? He's from Ohio State, but he doesn't have a... I'd rather have a guy with star development if I was going to choose. So is there another team that has... Ooh, the Bears need a receiver, or they at least have interest in him. They only have 2 receivers on the roster. They have Will Washington, who is a star development player. Can I get Will Washington? What is his stats? I didn't really look at his stats. Is he a burner? 95 speed, 96 excel, 81 catching, so he's a burner. That could be our Daryl Holcomb replacement. Okay, they don't like that. But I do have a lot of draft picks I can give back. I've got plenty of draft picks that we're probably not going to use. So I can give back a 4th round pick, probably the one that we just got. Trade declined. I can also give you a 3rd round pick because we have plenty of those. I'll take out of the 4th. Denzel and a 3rd for Will Washington. That almost gets it done. But if I add a 5th round pick, that should move it through. I can add a 4th if I need to. But nope, Denzel Mims goes to Washington. Nope, to Chicago, and we get Will Washington. That's what I was thinking of. So our receiving core looks a lot different now. But we have 5 guys that I feel confident in. But the main one, Justin Fields, I think it's Tampa. It is Tampa. Jalen Hurts, Justin Fields. Is Jalen Hurts the guy? Is he the quarterback that we go for? Is he the quarterback to lead us to the promised land? He's got superstar development, 87 throw power. He's got all his stuff is boosted because of his morale. 87 speed, 90 acceleration. What's Justin Fields' stuff? His stuff is boosted a little bit. He's got 89 speed, so Hurts is faster. I think this is the quarterback. I think this is the deal that we do. Trade declined. I can throw you some draft picks. I can also throw you Jacoby Brissett if you want him. I don't know why you'd want him, but I can throw you Jacoby. Give you a 4th and a 5th for Jalen Hurts. Ooh, that's almost there. Maybe 2 4ths. Actually, you know what? Let me throw you Jacoby. Does Jacoby get it done for you? Ooh, it's actually pretty close. It's actually pretty close. I'll just throw in another pick. It's not a big deal. I'll give you pick 120 along with 4. Oh, okay, so that didn't work. I could give you another 3rd. I guess I didn't. What about if I just do the 3rd? Okay, so it's going to have to be another 4th. Actually, will this now take Jacoby? Yeah, okay, so Jacoby Brissett goes along with Justin Fields to Tampa. We get back Jalen Hurts, who is probably going to be our QB1 heading into the season. He's probably going to be our QB1 headed in the season. He's got superstar development, which is good. We are going to have to sign a 3rd quarterback. I'm going to keep Malik Willis around. We can give him some superstar abilities to help him out a little bit. Probably quick draw. I love having quick draw. And probably prove the prowess of all running backs who are open on pass plays. That might be good. I do throw to the running backs a lot. Jukebox. Well, jukebox really wouldn't be useful. You know what? Let's just go with safety valve for right now. We can obviously change all these. So we will go with that. What's Jalen Hurts' number? What did he have? Number 11. Does Jalen Hurts wear number 2 or number 1 on the Eagles? Does he wear number 1 on the Eagles? Let me Google it real quick. Is he number 1 or number 2? Because I can change Sauce Gardner. Jalen Hurts. Is he number 1 or number 2? He's number 1. Okay. So that works. So he can just keep number 1. I thought he was number 2 for some reason. But he can stay as number 1. So the receiving core now looks like... Oh, A.J. Brown only has star development. I kind of forgot about that. But now the receiving core is like this. And then... Oh, no. Keep it like that. All right. Jefferson, Garrett Wilson, A.J. Brown. We have to trade Quinn Miners. That's right. Don't want to forget about trading Quinn Miners. So let's go and do... Whoops. Let's go and do that. if I can hit the right thing. Trade center. Go over here, and this is where I'm gonna try and trade Quinn Miners. Nope, that's Dominique Peck. Quinn Miners for Trey Smith from the Chiefs. Now I don't know if it's gonna go through. I hope it does. He's a right guard. Hopefully this goes through, and it's declined. But we have assets to give up. We have assets to give up. I've already given up a ton of assets already. Didn't realize how much I've done. Trade decline, but I've got plenty of 4th round picks I can throw your way. And this should get it done, and it does. So Trey Smith is now our starting right guard. That makes the offensive line look a lot better. That makes the offensive line look a lot better. With Jedrick Wills, Dominic Peck, Tom Lowry, Trey Smith, and Penei Sewell. Now, we have to figure out if we're going to re-sign Penei Sewell. We might tag Penei Sewell. That might be the best option. We could obviously try and trade him away like we've been doing. Thibodeau is going to start up here. Hutchinson's over there. It looks like Quincy's dropped from superstar or from star to normal. Kind of sucks. Sauce has got superstar. That's cool. All right. I don't think anybody else has dropped. I think Josh Allen was always star, wasn't he? Or was he superstar? I think he was only star. But everybody else looks good. All right, hopefully we can get these two guys, Hutchinson and Thibodeau, upgraded a little bit. And I want to make sure that, yeah, Garrett Wilson's still in the slot. Okay, perfect. Perfect. The offense, I like how the offense is looking now. I like the running backs with Barkley and Carter and Stevenson. We're going to have to get another backup or a backup quarterback just to have a 3rd-string quarterback on the roster. All right. I think that's all the trades we need to make, except for Penei Sewell, obviously. But we might just tag him. But that might take all of our money away. Chris Olave's going to need a contract next season. That's not a big deal. I don't care about these guys too much. Okuda kind of sucks to lose. Michael Carter. We could try and get something from Michael Carter. Maybe another running back. And Penei Sewell is interested in coming back, but he's just going to cost so much. He's going to cost so much. Ugh. What do we do? I think we trade Michael Carter. See if I can get another running back for him. Around the same kind of level, I guess. So who's a running back that would fit that kind of bill? Nick Chubb? You know what? Let me just toss it out there. Okay. I just wanted to see. James Conner, Isaiah Spiller, A.J. Dillon, Alexander Madison, Brian Robinson kind of fits that. Although I don't really need, I want a speed guy because we have our power guy in Ramondre. We have our athletic do-it-all guy in Barkley. And I could use a speed guy like Travis Etienne. That would be a speed guy. He's got 92 speed, 95 excel, and he's got star development. That could be our speed guy. And that's declined, but it could go through. I like this, yeah. I think I found our speed guy, and we could just throw him like a 6th round pick or something to get it done. Trade offer accepted. So Michael Carter heads off to Jacksonville, and we get our speed guy. Now we got to figure out, what do we do with Penei Sewell? What do we do with Penei? Man, I don't know. What was I thinking? I think I had a plan for Penei, but I don't remember. I don't remember what I had. I guess we could just try and re-sign him. We could try and re-sign him. Oh, no, I think I had the plan for Evan Neal. I think that's what I had to do. Because they're the same, but he's going to need a contract next season. So either we pay Penei Sewell this year, or we pay Penei Sewell, or we pay Evan Neal next year. This is tough. This is pretty tough. Do we just pay Penei Sewell? Like, do we just tag him? Because we're going to be in the same situation with Evan Neal. I don't know what to do. Panay's 25, right? He's 24. Evan Neal is 24 as well. They're both superstar development. Evan Neal's 1 year younger, or 1 overall lower. He is a little bit more of a cap hit. But he wouldn't be as much of a cap hit if we had to pay Panay. Trade offer was accepted. All right, I guess that just my thumb did the deal for me. I didn't know what to do there. I guess that works. Evan Neal becomes our right tackle. I mean, we have Sawyer Dart who can play right tackle as well, so I guess that works. Whatever. And now the rest of the players negotiate is just Chris Olave and Evan Neal. We're going to have to figure out that next. Oh, and Travis Etienne next season as well. Kwity Paye. I guess we could just... I don't think I'm going to sign anybody. I think I'm just going to let everybody... I can get maybe some assets next season for Kwity Paye. That could be good. Because we have some decent stuff. So maybe if I trade... Because we're going to lose Jacob Martin and Boogie Basham. And Kwity Paye. So maybe I could get some draft picks next season for him. Who's really interested? The Cardinals are interested. So if you give me like a second and a third next year for Kwity Paye, that'd be cool. Ooh, that's almost good. What about if I give them a 6th round pick this year? That's accepted. All right. And then we can trade Jacob Martin and Boogie Basham to the Colts, it looks like. Because they need them. And they can give me back a 2nd and a 3rd as well. Or maybe I can get a 1st. You think I can get a 1st? For both of these guys? No, I didn't think so, but you never know. You gotta try it. You gotta try it. What about a 2nd and a 3rd? Almost. Almost. I bet if I throw in a 7th, that gets it done. If I throw in a 7th round pick, that should get her done. And it does. So Jacob Martin and Boogie head over to the Indianapolis Colts for a 2nd and 3rd. So we just got 2 extra 2nds and 2 extra 3rds for next season. And I think it's just Daryl Holcomb that's left. Oh, it's Okuda too. Okay. I don't care about these guys. Do we franchise tag Daryl? No, we don't franchise tag Daryl Holcomb. And I think we just let Okuda walk too. All right, I think that's all we needed to do. We just let these guys walk. We head into free agency with a little bit of money, not a crazy amount of money, but a little bit of money. And we see what we've got. We've got $11 million. Who's in free agency? Is there anybody worthwhile? Quarterbacks? No, we don't need a quarterback except for we could use a backup, I guess. So maybe like, I don't know, like Jimmy Garoppolo or somebody as a 3rd string quarterback. It's not going to be a big deal. They're not going to play because Malik will come in as the backup. So maybe I sign one of those guys. Running backs. I like our running backs that we have right now, so we don't have to worry about these guys, although I do like Trey Sermon, obviously. But we're not going to be able to afford Aaron Jones, so we don't have to worry about that. Wide receivers, not a great wide receiver class for this free agency. Plus, we already have some really good receivers. A couple teams are interested, that's for sure. But I am not interested in them. Tight end, I could use a 3rd tight end. I do like running 3 tight end sets. And we already have 2 good ones. So maybe we get like a Tommy Tremble. I know he's not interested, but he's got no offers. We probably need a backup right tackle. And Tevin Jenkins, I feel like that would just be bad to bring him in as a backup. So maybe we can get this guy, Matt Peart. Plus Tevin Jenkins got 5 offers, so I don't really want to go for him. So let's bring in Matt Peart as a backup, and we lower the offer a whole heck of a lot because I don't want to pay him that much. And we'll see what he says to that. He's probably not going to accept it, but if we're his only offer, maybe he will. Then on the defensive line, we need to bring guys just for like bodies. We need some bodies on the defensive line. So we do need to spend some money there. D tackle, we're already pretty good at D tackle. Already pretty good at D tackle. Plus all these guys are a little bit older. Right end, Frank Clark's a little older at this point. Zach Allen, no. Peyton Turner's 26, but he's not interested. Outside linebacker, I wish Judon wasn't so old. Quincy Roche, Jonathan Cooper. A few guys are interested, but am I really interested in them? Middle linebackers, not a whole lot of options here. Jalen Phillips and Joe Tryon Shoyinka. But we'd have to probably pay them a little bit too much. And then we go to corners. And there's a few corners here. This isn't that great of a free agent class, if I'm being honest. This is not that great of a free agent class. All right, so let's target a quarterback. Let's get a backup quarterback here. Let's just go for, I don't know, who's going to be our third string quarterback? Who do we want on this team? Who's going to be a good locker room guy? Jimmy G, he's got an offer. Josh Rosen, no. Kyle Allen. Nick Mullins. Who was that? That was Kirk Cousins. 62 overall at 37 years old. Kind of feel bad for Kirk. Carson Strong. These guys are all horribly rated. I didn't realize how low overalls they were. There's Blake Bortles. He's retired now. Let's just go with Gil Adams is interested, but is Gil Adams that good? 78 speed at 22 years old, 85 agility, 87. He's fast, or he's decently fast. Kyle Allen, Kellen Mond. Not a whole lot of options here. But, I mean, it is a third-string quarterback, so it's not that big of a deal. Let's just go, Kyle Allen, I guess, sure. Whatever, we don't need to offer you a big contract, that's for sure. Just how about $1 million each? He should accept that. I don't know why he wouldn't accept that. Wide receivers we're fine with. Like I said, tight end would be the other thing that we could use. But tight end would take up a lot of our money. Tommy Tremble. I mean, it's not a big deal if we don't get Tommy. Because we have 2 good tight ends. I just like running 3 tight end sets. So let's go for another tackle. Oh, we already got the tackle. That's right. Let's go for some guys on the defensive line then. So maybe like Kyle Phillips. Kyle Phillips could use a contract. Not that expensive a contract, but he could use a contract. How about you take something like that, Kyle Phillips? I mean, you're already interested in coming here, so why don't you do that? Then we go over here to the right side, and we offer Peyton Turner a cheap deal because he has no offers, and he is a decent player. All right, how about that? And I think that's going to be all of our money. So, and we can't offer anybody else anyway. So, our targeted players are Tommy Tremble, Peyton Turner, although the Eagles are offering Peyton Turner, so we're not going to get Peyton Turner. I didn't realize they were offering him. You know what? I might just get rid of that contract. Then we got Kyle Phillips, Kyle Allen, and Matt Peart. So let's go through it, see who we get. Players evaluate submitted offers. We got nobody. So these guys didn't accept. Peyton Turner's not going to accept, and now Tommy Tremble has offers. So let me just go back to the tight ends and withdraw that offer from Peyton Turner because, oops, I backed out too many times. We're not going to be getting Peyton Turner. That's pretty obvious. And we're not going to be getting Tommy Tremble, which I didn't think we would. I was hoping maybe they would sign the cheap contracts, but I keep hitting the wrong thing. Withdraw offer. There we go. And then go to Peyton Turner and withdraw the offer there. And we might just have to like offer Zach Allen something. Does he have anybody? Wait, did he have anybody offering him a contract? No, he doesn't have anybody interested yet. So if we could get Zach Allen on the cheap, I just need bodies at this point. I just need bodies on the defensive line because we traded away a lot of our guys. So if they just accept that, and then Maybe like Dietrich Wise, he's a little interested, so that could be useful. We just go drop all this money down. There we go. Perfect. All right, that's all my available offers that I can have. So we're the only offer for all of these guys, so let's see if they accept. We got nobody yet. Is nobody gonna accept? I don't want to go crazy on these offers, but I guess we'll go one more evaluation period. And they all did not accept. So we might not get anybody that I offered, but I guess that's what I get for being stingy. I guess that's what I get for being a little stingy. Let me just take a look at these combine ratings really quickly. I mean, this guy looks really good. Cliff Jones looks like the guy. We might not even need a backup quarterback now that I think about it. He looks really, really amazing. There's a lot of good players in this draft class. It's not an amazing draft class. I don't know if there's going to be a generational type player in the class, but there's some good players in this class. Let me just take the offer off of Kyle Allen, excuse me. And we are not going to get any of these guys, I wouldn't guess. That's okay. That is okay. It's not like we needed these guys. We could just sign them in free agency, like in the preseason or something, just to get some people. So let's go to stage 2 of free agency and see what happens. Maybe somebody accepts, maybe somebody doesn't. Ooh, another mock draft too. That's awesome. Love to see it, love to see it. All right, we got college pro day results. We've got more retirements. Who retired now? Morgan Moses called it a career. I guess he said, I don't want to play football anymore, so he calls it a career. Who else got moved in the staff? It is... a few head coaches got hired and fired. All right, whatever. And it looks like all of our guys are still on the board, but they just haven't signed with us, so we'll see if they accept. See if they accept their offers. But we've got college pro day results. So how did Cliff Jones do at his pro day? He had a 4.36 at the 40-yard dash. I mean, he just looks really good. He looks really good. Is he the #1 overall pick? I don't know. Shaquem McLeod also looks very good. Very athletic. He's got A awareness, A finesse moves, A pursuit. His block shedding I wish was a little bit higher, but he looks very good as well. It's probably between these two guys. It's probably between Cliff Jones and Shaquem McLeod for the #1 overall pick that I'm going to use. Or we could trade back. I guess that's also a possibility. Now they have Shaquem being the #1 overall pick. Cliff Jones has fallen. This is interesting. They have us taking Deontay Simmons, which I wouldn't hate. They have Cliff Jones falling all the way to 17. Taken by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who now have 2 other quarterbacks, Justin Fields. That's crazy. This changes some things. We'll have to wait, obviously, to make a final decision on the final mock draft 5. But this changes some things. Now Shaquem is the #1 overall pick. So does that mean we take Shaquem and bank on the fact that Cliff Jones would be there at 15? I don't know. Some interesting things to think about as we head closer to the draft. All right, I'm just going to keep moving until we get to free agency recap. Okay, we've got private workouts. We've got mock draft number 5. Did we get anybody? It looks like we have a little bit less in the cap space. So we signed Zach Allen and Matt Peart. All right. So we get another body on the defensive line, and we get a backup right tackle. So I guess that's not a big deal. That's 2 extra guys that we can have there to help us out with depth a little bit. So yeah, Matt Peart goes to be backup right tackle. We have a good backup left guard plus backup center. I mean, he's not really a backup left guard, but he can play guard. Sawyer Dart can play a bunch of different positions. Our offensive line's good. On defense now, we have Zach Allen who can be backing up there. Josh Allen can even come in and back up. Jermaine Johnson can back up there. I might even move Jermaine Johnson to be a right end, because is he not? Is he an outside linebacker listed? Yeah, he's listed as outside. I might even move Jermaine Johnson to be a backup end, just so he can fill in some defensive spots, because our linebacking core is pretty solid. So I like what we have here. Our corners are not very deep. We have 4 corners, so that's something we have to think about too. But we've got private workouts, 3 private workouts. I think one of them has to be Shaquem. I want to know officially about him. I want to know, although we don't really need to know. The only thing that we need to know is he really a top 5 talent? That's the only thing we could really stand to figure out at this point. So maybe we don't waste it on that. Maybe we use it on, definitely on Wade Davidson. I want to find out how good he is. And then maybe a little bit later on down the line. There's some good corners in this class. There's Deontay Samuels. Do we want to know more about Deontay Samuels? There's some really good players in this class that I have listed here. Some good offensive linemen. There's really some good tackles in this class. But I think we just use it on these 3 guys. I need to know if these 3 guys are top 5 talents or not. So I'm going to use it on them. And then we'll move on to the NFL draft. That might not have been the best move. Might not have been the best move because I could have used it on other guys since we already know 95%. But I need to know if those guys are as good as they say they are. So we go to prospects. We know 100% of Cliff Jones. He is a top 5 true talent. He looks really good. Shaquem is also a top 5 true talent. We don't know fully on Wade Davidson, but we know a little bit more on him. And Shaquem is also a top 5 true talent. I mean, he looks also very good. This just makes it a lot tougher, man. This makes it a lot tougher to figure out what I want to do. Start the NFL draft. We have the number 1 overall pick. Pause the draft. Oh, all right. Do we trade the pick? We've got the run of anybody in the class. Or do we bank on the fact that Cliff Jones will be there? Now, the thing is, now that we trade for Jalen Hurts, he's going to be our quarterback number 1. So it's not like we need Cliff Jones anymore. Cliff Jones was like the guy if I didn't trade for another quarterback, but I decided to trade for another quarterback. So Cliff kind of falls a little bit down. We do need a right end that would help us out because I could move either Thibodeau or Hutchinson to the linebackers. That could be an interesting thing. So Shaquem, it's probably going to be either Shaquem or we trade the pick. That's what it's going to be. It's going to be one of those 2 things. So what are the offers? We can get pick 3. We can trade back to pick 2, also get a couple things. Actually, that would be pick 2 next year. The Vikings have pick 2. I got to be careful about that. So we could trade back, but that would mean giving up the possibility of getting Shaquem. I don't know, man. I do not know. We can basically get whatever we want with the first overall pick. But is Shaquem McLeod worth it? Is he worth taking? I think he might be. You know I love trading back in drafts, but I think Shaquem McLeod might be worth taking. The block shedding kind of scares me, but he looks like a can't-miss guy. Hidden development, obviously, we figured he would be. 84 acceleration, 81 agility, 82 jumping, 84 speed, 88 strength, 6'4", 274, out of Boise State. He is 23 years old, but I think we made the right move. I think we made the right move drafting him. Wade Davidson goes 2 to the Vikings. Kurt Hazelton goes 3 to the Browns. Brian Tillett goes 4 to the Jaguars. I wouldn't be surprised if the Eagles take Cliff Jones. They take Larry Hill. Darrell Taylor goes, another guy I was interested in. James Ortega I was interested in. DeAndre Noble. There goes Cliff Jones. He doesn't make it. He goes to Miami. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. Now we come up with our pick again, which is something we could trade back. The other quarterback is there. Our picks are still, a lot of our guys are still here. Patrick Knox, Eli Callahan. There's a lot of good players left on this board. We know that Nate Harris out of Ohio State is a first-round talent, and he looks very good in terms of his coverages. And he ran a 4.3. That's one of the main reasons why I was interested in him. They also had us probably taking Deontay Samuels with this pick. He doesn't look amazing, but he looks pretty good. What are my options to trade back? Can I trade back in this class? Or in this first round is what I meant to say. How far do I trade back? We can trade back to pick 28 and also pick up a first-round pick next year. But that's from Buffalo. I don't know if we can trust that. I would like to pick up another first-round pick, but I don't think we're going to be able to. Actually, we can get one from the Ravens. That might be the only other option. I don't want to trade with Buffalo, that's for sure. Trade with Kansas City, but they just came off a Super Bowl, so that's not going to be very good. The Ravens might be the best one. We can get 2 first-round picks for this pick and only move back to 24. I don't think that's a horrible thing to do, so we'll do that. Skip a couple picks to get to our pick. We pick up a first-round pick next year. And I might take... There goes that other quarterback. I might take that guard because he looked pretty good. That Knox. Oh, there he goes. There he goes. He went right to Seattle. But there was other players that were good in this class that I liked. Nate Harris is on the board. So is Eli Callahan. Nate Harris might be the guy. I think we take Nate Harris. We need a corner. We need some depth. I think we take Nate Harris. He's only normal development. I don't know. He's got 94 speed, 90 change of direction, 94 excel. He's a very fast corner. But 90 or normal development kind of hurts a little bit. Now we have to go all the way to the next round, second round. And who is still available on our board? All right, we're losing a few guys on the board, but there's still some decent players like Cortland Gary. Cortland Gary is a decent player at safety. What about Malcolm Waynes? He looked pretty good. Manu Aguilar also looked decent. The tight ends are still available, which I like. Tight ends are still available. Cortland Gary is a first-round talent. I don't know if he truly is a first-round talent. I think I want to take one of these two guys. How's Malcolm Waynes? Looks like a solid prospect physically. Let's take Malcolm Waynes. Hidden development, 91 strength, out of Ohio State. I didn't even realize. All right, so Malcolm Waynes is our next pick in the second round. We also have another second-round pick. So hopefully there's somebody here. Manny Battles. So Aguilar got taken, but Manny Battles is still available. Outside linebacker Rob Roberts is still available. I might end up taking Rob Roberts just because we need a third quarterback, but not right now. I might take Manny Battles. I know we don't really need another tackle, but he looks like just the best prospect available. Manny Battles, hidden development, so he's got star or better. I'll take it. He looked pretty good. So that's a good pickup. And now we go to the third round. And is there any... There goes Wayne Person. I was definitely looking at him. I think he was on our board. We have just some guys available here. Another corner. I mean, Greg Benson says he's around 1 to 2 talent, but he's got F zone coverage, so I kind of want to stay away from him. Roy Hess doesn't look great. John Barrow has B zone coverage, which I like. His man coverage could be B to D. Kind of terrifies me a little bit. But John Barrow is probably going to be our pick. Normal development, 90 acceleration. Not a bad prospect. He's got a nice afro. Not a bad prospect, but not certainly the greatest prospect. I think those tight ends got taken too, which kind of sucks. Those tight ends look pretty good. Although Patrick Meadows is still here. He looks decent. Greg Benson. Let's take Rob Roberts in the 4th round. He's a normal development quarterback, but I didn't expect anything from him. We just needed a 3rd quarterback on the team. Then we'll use this pick to take maybe a tight end or something else. Greg Benson or Meadows. It's probably going to be Benson or Meadows. Let's take Benson. I want to find out what Benson's all about. So let's take him. He's not going to be good. He's fast, but we also need bodies at corner. So now in the 5th round, if that tight end is still there, we probably take him. I don't know if he will be still there, but it would be cool. It'd be cool if he was. No, only the fullbacks are available. So who is the fullback that I want to take? This will be our final pick. I'll trade the rest of the picks. This guy's got elite speed for a fullback, which is good. I like seeing that. This guy has elite speed, and he's also a decent blocker. Ooh, Eddie Harper. Come to Papa. Normal development. Oh, that kind of sucks. But Eddie Harper could be a good fullback for us. I wonder if those other fullbacks are going to have development traits. All right, we'll trade the rest of these picks away just to move it along, and that'll be the end of the draft. Traded away. I traded for a pick in this draft. That sucks. I just traded back 1 pick. That sucks. Whatever. We'll just keep moving. Trade with the Broncos in 2026 to give me a 6th round pick. Thank you very much, Denver. And then we have 1 final pick in the draft. I think our draft went okay. It didn't go amazingly as planned, but do drafts ever go like as you want them to go? They never do. So I think for what we were given, taking Shaquem McLeod was the best offer, or the best option there. I don't think that was a bad option. He ends up being a 78 overall. Nate Harris is a 75. Malcolm Wayne's a 75 as well. Manny Bowles a 72. Everybody else kind of sucks. Greg Benson ends up being a 73. All right, that's cool. But now let's go figure out if we missed out on anything. So Shaquem's the 2nd highest rated player. Cliff Jones was a 78 overall. If he has like superstar or higher, I'm going to be very upset. He has star. Okay, thank you. Woo! I thought I was going to be a little bit more upset about that. But I don't think there was anything else that we really missed out on. I mean, there's a few guys that I kind of liked, but overall, we got some pretty decent players for where we were drafting. So, yeah, I don't think we did that bad. I mean, we got some more corner depth. We got some more offensive line depth. We got back a 3rd-string quarterback. We got a fullback now. Actually, can I go to all NFL 7th round? Is there any fullbacks that got taken? Any other fullbacks that got taken? The other fullbacks are probably in free agency. They probably didn't get drafted. I didn't know if they would or not. But that is going to end this episode. I hope you guys did enjoy. A lot of major things happened today. We changed a lot. We traded for a few guys. We now have a new starting quarterback in Jalen Hurts. We have a new wide receiver core with A.J. Brown and Chris Olave coming in, and plus that other guy, Will Washington, we brought in as well. The offensive line looks a little different. The defense certainly looks different. I hope it all ends up culminating in the Super Bowl, but we'll have to wait and find out for that. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, leave it a like, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club. I can't wait for next episode to start season number 3, season 4 of the franchise, season 3 of the actual Barons. And week 1 will be just right around the corner next episode. So can't wait for that. Hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like. Thank you guys so much for stopping by and watching. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.